Behind every legend lies a reason. This is Myth and Motive.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Antarctica, the mysterious and pristine land of the southernmost part of the planet, always inspires admiration for its wondrous and enigmatic beauty. Here, vast ice fields stretch like a pure white carpet, glistening under the sunlight to create a perfect and mystical natural painting. Although often known through images of ice and daring expeditions, Antarctica also has many interesting and unusual stories and natural phenomena, making it an unmissable land. Let's explore this special continent in more detail with Antarctica is located at the Earth's south pole, surrounding the Antarctic, and is the coldest, driest continent on Earth. This continent lies entirely south of the Antarctic Circle and is surrounded by the Southern Ocean. About 98% of Antarctica's area is covered by ice, forming an ice sheet averaging 2 to 4 kilometers thick. Glaciers and icebergs are the main features of the region, and this ice sheet contains about 60% of the world's fresh water. Antarctica has diverse terrain with mountain ranges, ice plateaus, and lower areas such as ice valleys. The Ellsworth Mountains are the highest mountain range in Antarctica, with Vincent Peak being the highest point on the continent. Antarctica's climate is extremely harsh. Average temperatures on the coast range from -10 degrees Celsius to -30 degrees Celsius, while in the interior they can drop below -60. Winter here is long with little sunlight, while summer can have 24 hours of sunlight. Some lakes in Antarctica lie beneath the ice, such as Lake Vasa, a large and deep lake kilometers below the surface. These lakes may contain water from billions of years ago and have unique living conditions. Despite the harsh climate, Antarctica still has diverse life such as seals, penguins, and invertebrates like krill and plankton. Many places in Antarctica have had no rain or snow for 2 million years. The driest place in the world is an area in Antarctica, also known as the Dry Valleys. Here, for the past 2 million years, not a single drop of rain has fallen. This place has natural conditions most similar to Mars. It is an area of about 4,800 square kilometers, accounting for about 0.03% of the continent, forming the largest ice-free area in Antarctica. Many people mistakenly think this place is hot year-round with consistently high temperatures. Surprisingly, the dry valleys are a freezing land with very low temperatures, because cold air holds 20 times less moisture than hot air. Previously, some studies suggested the driest place in the world was the Atacama Sahara deserts. But in fact, the McMurdo Dry Valleys hold this record. Ice and snow have not appeared here for 8 million years. The average precipitation is about 100 milliliters per year, but is whole enough. Dry winds quickly evaporate the snow, and little melts into the ground. In summer, this process may take only a few hours. Wind speeds in the valleys reach 320 kilometers per hour, the strongest in the world. The wind carries cold air that evaporates all moisture, water, and snow. The only ice found here is in glaciers along the valleys and in reservoirs. This includes the salty Lake Bonny. This place is covered by an ice layer 3 to 5 meters thick. Lake Vanda is also in the area, with salinity 3 times than the seawater. In a harsh place like McMurdo, no life exists. Compared to other places in Antarctica, the dry valleys have no plants, rodents, or mollusks. This strange land is also the first place on Earth without the presence of bacteria. Only one type of bacteria, called Ancarito, survives. In fact, this bacteria can even survive in outer space. The strange and mysterious beauty of the dry valleys is completely different from the rest of Earth. It makes anyone who sets foot here feel strange and overwhelmed. Researchers first discovered a giant hole in the Antarctic Sea in 1974 and called it the Maud-Rise Polynia. This strange hole shrinks and expands to different sizes, but always in the same location. Some years it doesn't even appear. Since its discovery, the Maud-Rise Polynia has been a mystery that puzzles scientists about the exact conditions of its formation. In 2016 and 2017, a whole area of 80,000 square kilometers appeared for a few weeks in winter. Allows scientists to gain a deeper insight into this phenomenon and ultimately solve the mystery after 50 years. They also published this scientific report in early May 2024. 2017 marked the first occurrence of such a large and long-lasting Moori's polyniate in the Weddell Sea since the 1970s. As summer turns to winter in Antarctica, sea ice expands from a minimum area of about 3 million square kilometers to 18 million square kilometers, covering 4% of the Earth's surface with a frigid white blanket. Most of this sea ice grows during the weeks-long polar night on the unique floating ice shelves. Openings in this ice cover are called polynias, which form when strong offshore winds push ice floes apart. These winds also cause more seawater to freeze inside the polynias, adding supplementary ice to the consolidated ice pack. But in the vast, offshore waters far from coastal winds, where the Moori's polynia forms, openings in the sea ice are less likely to develop. Coupled with the astonishing decline in overall ice extent across the Southern Ocean, this made scientists wonder what specific conditions could cause the Moori's polynia to form. To investigate the mystery, scientists studied data from satellites, autonomous buoys, and chip-tagged marine mammals, as well as previous observations made by other researchers. They discovered that in 2016 and 2017, the Weddell Sea's circular ocean current, known as the Weddell Gyre, was stronger than in other years, making it easier for the deep water currents to bring salt and heat closer to the surface. Additionally, the Moori's polynia is located near Moori's, an underwater mountain. In 2016 and 2017, due to the stronger current, salt accumulated around this seamount while winds blew across the surface, creating a vortex effect that drew saltier water from around the submerged mountain up to the surface. This salt then lowered the freezing point of the surface water, facilitating the formation and persistence of the Moori's polynia. According to the researchers, this new finding is crucial for understanding Antarctica and its broader impacts on the global ocean. Climate change has made winds from the polar continent stronger, potentially creating more openings in the future. Meanwhile, 40% of the global ocean's bottom water originates from the Antarctic coast, making this region vital for regulating the climate of areas across the planet. Antarctica is known for having over 300 lakes beneath its vast ice sheets, with Lake Vostok being the largest and also the largest subglacial lake discovered to date. Lake Vostok lies at a depth of about 4,000 meters beneath the ice, covering an area of up to 14,000 square kilometers. Due to the special environmental conditions, these subglacial lakes may have existed for millions of years unchanged. A new magnetic anomaly was discovered in the Lake Vostok area at a depth of 4,800 meters below the ice surface. Through surface heat scanning, scientists determined that the lake's water temperature fluctuates between 10 and 18 degrees Celsius, clearly indicating the existence of an underground heat source. The hot water melts the ice above the lake, with the entire lake covered by a slope thousands of meters high. Ice core samples observed by scientists show the presence of microorganisms, water, heat, gas exchange, and life activities beneath the ice zone, characteristic of biological processes. Scientists believe Lake Vostok could provide many clues to better understand the origin and evolution of early life forms on Earth. Simultaneously, this lake could also serve as a model for future space exploration missions aimed at searching for extraterrestrial life. However, when drilling reached a depth of 3,623 meters, researchers worry that continued exploration could destroy the lake's pristine ecosystem. Therefore, the research project was suspended, leaving many questions unanswered. Recently, a research team from Columbia University conducted a series of surveys at Lake Vostok at the depth of the ice sheet, aiming to map gravity, magnetic activity, and heat beneath the ice. The survey results revealed that a massive magnetic anomaly covers the entire southeastern part of the lake's shore. This has raised questions about the origin of this anomaly. Professor Michelle Studinger, a member of the research team, suggested that during the lake basin's formation, the crust near Lake Vostok may have been stretched and thinned, leading to a local magnetic anomaly. However, geologist Ross Nix questioned this theory, arguing that stretching and thinning the crust will heat the underlying rock, reducing rather than increasing the ability to locally amplify Earth's magnetic field. Another hypothesis is that the accumulation of metal could have caused this anomaly, but this has not been confirmed. Lake Vostok is considered one of the last unexplored frontiers on Earth. There may be many secrets waiting for us to discover. The mystery of the magnetic anomaly isolated in Antarctica, particularly at Lake Bassa, remains an unsolved scientific puzzle. These findings not only open up new opportunities in scientific research, but also provoke thoughts about what might be hidden beneath Antarctica's icy isolation. The mysterious blood falls belongs to the Taylor Glacier, named after the British scientist Thomas Griffith Taylor, who first discovered the glacier's blood-like falls during an expedition around the early 1910s. The peculiarity of these falls is that they are very cold, hypocrystalline, and red like blood, hence the name blood falls. Scientists decided to uncover the secret of blood falls and confirm that the water source supplying the falls is a saline lake beneath the ice. A bacterial ecosystem that has existed isolated in the lake for millions of years. Thanks to modern techniques, it determined that the saltwater lake is about 400 meters below the ice surface without having to drill deep. Exploratory research suggests that millions of years ago, the saltwater lake was part of an ocean of the Earth. When ocean levels dropped, the lake became isolated. After a repeated high rate of evaporation, its salinity became 4 times that of the ocean. And due to that salinity, it does not freeze despite being located at the pole. About 1.5 to 2 million years ago, a glacier moved over the lake and sealed it. In summer, temperatures in Antarctica are warm enough for water from the lake to seep up to the ice surface. To understand why the blood falls are red, the research team analyzed water samples from them. Results showed the water contains compounds of sulfur and iron. When iron compounds dissolve in liquid solution, iron ions give the solution a red color. The most notable thing is that initially, the water is very clear but quickly turns red after flowing out from the ice, due to iron oxidizing upon first contact with air after millennia. However, new research examined water samples and found iron exists in an unexpected form. Theoretically, it is not a mineral but exists as nanospheres 100 times smaller than human red blood cells. Besides iron, they also contain many other elements such as silicon, calcium, magnesium, sodium, and earth. For something to be a mineral, its atoms must be arranged in a specific crystalline structure. Nanospheres do not have a crystalline form, so previous methods used to examine solids do not detect them. Around 2 million years ago, when the planet was very hot and CO2 concentrations were double today's levels, the South Pole was a green tropical paradise with mammals, as proven by archaeological and geological studies. The main reason the South Pole changed from a tropical area to an icy continent is due to geological shifts and changes in global ocean currents. The drift of continents pushed the South Pole southward, where it now sits at the Earth's polar position. This caused temperatures to drop and formed the massive ice sheets we see today. Modern climate change, especially due to increased CO2 emissions, has raised concerns that Antarctica might undergo similar changes in the future. If CO2 levels continue to rise, this could melt part or all of Antarctica's ice, causing sea levels to rise and creating major disruptions to global ecosystems. However, the likelihood of Antarctica returning to a fully tropical continent is reported as very low in the near future, but cannot be entirely ruled out if climate change continues unchecked. But current research continues to monitor climate change and its impact on Antarctica to better understand potential future scenarios. 7. Antarctica has lost 3 trillion tons of ice in just 25 years. In just 25 years, Antarctica has lost 3 trillion tons of ice. This is truly a terrifying. This melting has partly caused global sea levels to rise, while also posing serious threats to coastal ecosystems and communities worldwide. This phenomenon is mainly due to climate change, with rising global temperatures causing Antarctic ice to melt faster. Large ice sheets like Thwaites and Pine Island in West Antarctica are melting at an especially rapid rate, contributing significantly to ice loss. Scientists are closely monitoring this change and warn that if this trend continues, the consequences can be very severe. Not only for species dependent on icy environments, but also for populated areas worldwide due to rising sea levels. In Antarctica, there are many wild animal species such as whales, seals, penguins, and birds. Among them, penguins are the most common animals. However, there is no presence of any reptile species here. This is mainly due to the extremely harsh environmental conditions, with extremely low temperatures, especially in winter when temperatures can drop below -60 degrees Celsius. Most reptiles are cold-blooded animals. They cannot regulate their body temperature like mammals or birds. Therefore, surviving in the freezing conditions of Antarctica is impossible for them. Additionally, Antarctica also lacks many natural food sources that reptiles need to survive. This makes this environment unsuitable for them. 9. There are 2 civilian settlements in Antarctica. It is the harshest land on the planet, but Antarctica still has 2 civilian settlements. The larger town is Villa Las Estrellas, established in 1984, which is the Chilean research station. This town now has a school, hospital, hostel, post office, internet, and television. The other town is Esperanza Base, an Argentine research station with 55 residents including 10 families and 2 high school teachers. Many residents here are researchers involved in discovering new organisms, data related to Earth's climate history, and signs of environmental change. Scientists have been exploring the 14 million square kilometers continent for nearly 200 years. In 1959, 12 countries signed the Antarctic Treaty, and the treaty became famous in 1978. With the birth of Emilio Marcos Palma, the first person born in Antarctica. In 1959, 12 countries signed the Antarctic Treaty, prohibiting military activity and promoting science. Currently, there are 70 research facilities here, and this number has increased over many decades. Since there are no indigenous inhabitants and researchers come from all over the world, Antarctica is dubbed the international continent. Each year, about 1,000 scientists conduct research at stations here. Field science in Antarctica is very expensive, so scientists only venture to this remote continent if the work cannot be done anywhere else in the world. Harsh weather conditions mean that transporting food and supplies is limited. You have to use what is available, such as frozen, canned, and dried foods. Alan Strawwood, the chef at the Rothera facility, told Reuters that decades ago, scientists hunted animals for food. A cookbook from the 1950s from a British facility contains recipes using penguin eggs, brains, and seal. However, today, eating wild animal meat is restricted. Water is also a precious resource on the continent, while about 90% of the world's ice is in Antarctica. Living here is very much like living in a desert. Residents do not have abundant water supplies. They have to melt snow in winter. In summer, they use pipes to draw water from artificial lagoons that accumulate melted snow. Additionally, on this continent, there are hundreds of workers maintaining internet and telephone services. Workers access remote points by helicopter to ensure all equipment functions well. They also assist scientists in repairing equipment such as stoves or snowmobiles for field missions. It may sound strange, but in fact, the American bank Wells Fargo installed an ATM in 1998 at McMurdo Station. This is the largest scientific center on the continent, located near New Zealand territory. This ATM, due to harsh conditions and the lack of many shops or services in Antarctica, having an ATM is an important convenience for those working here. It helps them withdraw money to purchase essential items at the research station stores. Antarctica also has several Christian churches, such as Trinity Church. This is a Russian Orthodox church located on King George Island, built in 2004. This church is one of the most famous and frequently used churches in Antarctica. There are also St. Francis of Assisi Chapel, Church of the Savior, Santa Maria Reina de la Paz Chapel, and Our Lady of Lourdes Chapel. There are 1,150 species of fungi found in Antarctica. The discovery of 1,150 species of fungi in Antarctica is truly impressive, as everyone knows this continent has an extremely harsh environment. Antarctica is known for its cold, arid climate and lack of sunlight for many consecutive months. However, even in this extreme environment, fungi can survive and thrive. Fungi are an important part of the ecosystem, playing a role in decomposing organic matter and helping maintain ecological balance. In a harsh environment like Antarctica, fungi can survive by parasitizing plants, algae, or other organisms, as well as in soil and ice. The presence of 1,150 species of fungi not only shows rich biodiversity even in the harshest conditions, but also provides important information about the adaptability of living organisms to extreme environments. Research on fungi species in Antarctica can offer insights into how they can be applied in biotechnology, medicine, and other fields, especially in developing new drugs or beneficial biological compounds. Antarctica is a special land, carrying the mystery and allure of a cold and pristine world. The harshness of the climate, the stunning beauty of ice and snow, and the undiscovered mysteries have made Antarctica a symbol of perseverance and adventurous spirit. Through research and exploration, we not only understand more about our planet, but also become aware of the importance of protecting the natural environment, preserving the valuable contributions that Antarctica brings to the entire world. This video ends here. Thank you all for your support. Dom. Subscribe to the DMEO channel so you know.
If the legend hooked you, subscribe and open the next case.